It's time to bring on the blooms at the Home Depot with spring garden deals. Find savings on hanging baskets and flowers to brighten your backyard or any space that needs instant color. Then get everything you need to plant and protect them with low prices guaranteed on soil and mulch. Dig into spring garden deals for 4 days at the Home Depot. Now through May 10th. Exclusions apply. See homedepot.com/price match for details.
You said this place was steps from the water.
We just haven't found the steps yet.
How much did we save?
Enough.
Enough to get lost?
Or you could book a stay with Hilton.
Welcome to your oceanfront room, just steps from the water.
The Hilton sale is on now. Book on Hilton.com or the Hilton app and save up to 20% to get the stay you expected. When you want savings, not surprises, it matters where you stay. Hilton, for the stay.
The MC was not dressed appropriately. And
how was the MC dressed?
The MC was wearing a black t-shirt that said seduction on it.
Get out of here.
These are the plaintiffs, Jennifer Batia and Joanne Pierno. Jennifer says she hired the defendant's company to provide her with a DJ, photography and videography services for her wedding. And quite frankly, they did a terrible job. The photographer didn't know how to use a camera. The MC was dressed inappropriately, and to top things off, the videographer only had one arm. Bottom line, the defendants didn't deliver as promised. They've never been more upset in their lives and are demanding a full refund of the $4,200 they paid the schlock defendants. These are the defendants, John Cavaglia and Ben Morrell. John says the plaintiffs paid for their cheapest wedding package, which didn't include editing. People had an absolute blast at this wedding. Members of the family were even throwing dollar bills in the air. Not once did the plaintiffs complain about the DJ. As far as the pictures go, he offered to edit them just to make her happy, but was turned down. He's done everything humanly possible to please these people, but refund all their money? No way. They're accused of not getting the picture.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Millian in our forum, the People's Court.
Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
Welcome,
okay, Jennifer Batia?
Yes.
And Joanne Pierno?
Yes.
You are suing Long Island Events, Music to My Ears, represented by the owners, John Cavaglia and Ben Morrell? Okay. For $4,200, the return of much of the money plus other expenses, aggravation, chiropractic services to get over the stress of this. They were the DJs, the photographers, and the videographers for your wedding, and you're unhappy with the job that they did, right? Okay. Talk to me. Tell me what happened.
Okay, so we hired the company on a search engine, and when we went there, they had references, they had proof of excellent videography, wonderful pictures. So we hired them, and the day before...
This is always best done word of mouth, by the way, but go ahead.
Yeah, lesson learned. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, for your next marriage. Okay.
No.
So, I know I was being sarcastic. Go ahead.
Okay. So the day before the wedding, I spoke to the DJ, John, and we went over the last little minute things. And on the day of the wedding, there were a few mishaps. And so, one of the things was that the photographer didn't know how to use the camera. Her excuse was that it wasn't her camera, but she was shaking so much she didn't know how to put the batteries in the camera and therefore couldn't use the flash. She didn't give any direction as to how to stand, where to stand. We ended up kind of posing ourselves. She overall just really didn't know what to do. The day of the wedding, the MC was not dressed appropriately. And
how was the MC dressed?
The MC was wearing a black t-shirt that said seduction on it.
Get out of here.
I have pictures.
Is that for real?
He didn't wear that. He wore that shirt, but he Before the event, he had the proper attire on, and then he got all sweaty and he took it off. Why did he do that? I have no idea.
That's, it's somebody's wedding.
Which was inappropriate.
Yeah, it's inappropriate. Why didn't you make him put his shirt back on immediately when you noticed? Yeah. Okay, anyway, go ahead.
So the day before the wedding, things were gone over, like the type of music to be played and what not to be played. Disco music was played, and that was asked not to be played. So that's one of the reasons why I'm upset, because that was one of the...
Sometimes, the guests come up and request or whatever.
Nobody requested it. It was specified not, that it's not to be played. So it's just one of those little things.
The bride doesn't want disco.
It's just one of those little things.
Yeah.
So, after the wedding, we got our pictures. I went through them, and on July 31st, I spoke to John and I expressed how unhappy I was with the pictures.
Let me see the pictures that you got. This is the sample of the pictures, or these are the proofs, or what is this?
These are the raw images.
Okay, and you got them digitally, I take it, right? You didn't get printouts?
No, I printed them out.
You printed them out, but you got them digitally?
Correct.
How, on a CD?
On a CD, yes. And
that's your husband?
That is my
Who's
husband.
Who's this?
This is my mom.
Oh!
My dad's in the audience.
Got it. Okay. Get used to it, pal. Both back and seated.
Oh, no, not at all.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah. And so what you're currently looking at is the only picture of Vijay with his 6 out of 7 sisters. One sister was not included. We have only one photo of all the nieces and only one photo of all the nephews. There are 3 pictures of Vijay, myself with his mom, none of Vijay with his mom. And you'll notice that they're terrible pictures also.
When you say they're terrible pictures, why?
Well, there's only one of each. So I didn't have much of a choice.
When this picture's being taken, there's 6 of his how many sisters?
There's 7 sisters.
Are you serious? How many boys?
He's the only one.
Oh my gosh, are you the youngest?
Yes.
Yeah, listen, that's some stamina that I was not willing to go through. I get my 3rd, all right, we're good. Okay.
But if you'll notice some...
Come on up if you're gonna talk to... Oh, I'm sorry, that was you talking. Hold on one second. I wanna talk to him 1 second. Can you switch with him so he's mic'd?
Sorry.
Okay, why is mom... did you pay?
Mom paid.
Okay, that's it. All right, how many sisters do you have?
7.
7.
Yes.
And at that moment, when you're taking a picture with 6, no one notices that the 7th one is missing?
No.
Why not?
Just went too fast. After that picture, I just wanted more.
I know, because I've had a wedding, I've had 2 quinces, and it's kind of mayhem and stuff,
That was one of the questions that was brought to me when I expressed this to John, well, why didn't you say anything? Well, it's not my job. I paid you to take care of this.
So were you looking for her and you couldn't find her and you just went ahead and...
No, I was not even aware that she wasn't even...
It's your wedding and your head is in 40 different places.
I had just gotten married and I was blissfully happy.
You really look happy.
I am so happy to this day. I'm still so happy.
Good for you. Good for you. Give it time.
No.
All right, so you are unhappy. You get how many pictures did they take?
They took about 2,000 pictures.
Okay. So you're showing me, of course, like 40 or something.
Correct.
Obviously,
we have them online if you need to see more.
Right.
But,
oh, I will. And that's lovely too.
Yeah.
All right, so go on.
So I called John on July 31st. And
when was the date of the wedding?
The wedding was July 3rd.
Okay.
All right. I called John July 31st, and we spoke about this, and I explained how, how unhappy we were with the video, with the DJing, with the pictures. And so he suggested that, okay, we can talk about a reshoot, and we can fix your photos and your video.
How are you going to do that? Because your family came from all over, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
And so I explained about, how about a refund? And he said, yeah, you're entitled to a $100 refund for $100 an hour that you didn't use. And so, because we paid for 8 hours, we only used 6.5. So he said, you're entitled to that. Then, on September 18th, when I spoke to Roxanne, the secretary, I asked to speak to John. She said, well, good luck with that.
Things not going well with Roxanne?
That's not the case at all.
Okay.
So Roxanne explained to me that she's spoken to them many times, that they should stop doing weddings. Unfortunately, mine was already done by them.
All right.
So on the 25th, I spoke to John and a group of employees, and that included the photographer, who essentially was not a photographer. From what the secretary told me, she was really one of the sales representatives, and she's been fired.
Is that true?
No.
Does she work for you?
Yes.
And she still works for you?
Yes.
Is she a professional photographer?
Yes.
All right. Tell me about the videography, the video, because
Correct.
according to you, it's shaky in the important parts. Tell me about that.
So the videographer had only one working arm. His other arm was in a sling due to whatever disability that he might have had. I don't understand that. When I asked about this, John said, well, he had a tripod. I said, well, that doesn't really make it easier. Vijay, if you could do 12:16, then you could see that, you know, the videographer almost misses my niece and my nephew walking down the aisle because he couldn't move quick enough. And then he almost misses my mom, my dad, and I walking down the aisle because he wasn't able to maneuver himself.
Oh, well, I mean, I can maneuver myself with my legs. I don't need my arm to maneuver myself. So what do you
Right, but if he's holding the camera?
How big is the camera?
Camera's maybe a foot, about this big, and the tripod's on wheels, so he could actually run if he needed to.
You're not mad at that fellow for being in a plaid shirt and a baseball cap?
That's a whole new story.
Yeah. I'd take the baseball cap off on myself.
The point of the matter is that he should have moved.
Oh.
Defend yourselves.
That was the raw, unedited video that we had sent them originally. We brought ourselves the edited video that we
Which
could
they
show
didn't
you
pay
as
for,
well.
but you're trying to show me an example of how such a thing can be edited.
Can you get me walking down the aisle completely?
Well, I don't know. I mean, you know, let me see it.
wow.
There we go again.
We're already halfway down the aisle.
This is the edited video. And it's 2.5 hours long. So
I assume you have a
show you
recap?
all of it. No.
Okay, so get me to where you want to get me. I still got the guy with the baseball cap just featured there. In other words, I would have edited that out. I would have had a transition at that moment so that I don't have to see whoever that is with a baseball cap and a short-sleeve shirt at my wedding, which is just going to upset me every time I see it. So I wouldn't have that part. And we don't need that part because there's nothing that was going on that needed to be salvaged there. I mean, there's stuff that, but I understand what you're saying, that you weren't paid to edit it. I'm just curious what experience you people have with editing to begin with.
Well, we don't do the editing, the videographer
Ever?
does.
I mean, does your videographer, that's the point. She's saying your videographer's not a professional. Your videographer, if this is the example of the best editing he does, is not fabulous.
And this is one scene out of 2.5 hours again.
It's kind of the important one.
I completely agree, but
Right.
I don't see what's wrong with.
Once we,
just so you can get an example of exactly what we were dealing with. It's coming up in a second.
It was serious baseball, serious wedding. And she was still smiling.
Just one
I
sec.
think because she was worried about the camera. And she didn't want the straight face. Yeah, I know what that is. And this camera right here, I really feel like flipping it.
You can flip it if you'd like. Go ahead.
You can flip it if you'd like.
I did. Well,
There you go. Just gave the videographer the middle finger.
ooh.
And what?
Saw that, Kim.
And what?
Yeah, I think the video.
Yeah, what
did
is that? How does that help me to rule on the case? That a guest
Thank God for editing.
gave the videographer
Well, the bride gave her permission to do so, if you listened.
Right, sounds like she was unhappy from the beginning then, right? Like, doesn't that hurt your case?
Well, when I don't think
Or you're
so
just trying to say they're low
necessarily.
class? Like, what's your point?
Not low class. I just think that was inappropriate. And like I said, we're there. They hired us to do services, and they're telling their guests to give us the middle finger. I just don't see how
Right.
that's.
Why was that? Just out of curiosity? Just one of those happy moments where somebody was flippant, as it were?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I see the photos? You have the whole batch, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, hand it. Now I'm going to take a recess.
Okay. I'll get
Hand
for
it
you.
over.
I'll
Was
get
there
it for
something
you.
else you wanted me to see?
Just rotten
these are the
pictures,
photos.
but you have some of those.
Okay, court is in recess.
All rise.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. Too much pressure in weddings. What do you think?
Yes, definitely. It's more for the families than it is for the bride and groom. It seems like the bride and groom gets, lost in
Well, not just lost, but is it just, it stresses you out when everything isn't perfect and things are rarely perfect.
Especially in the hospitality business, we see a lot of that. The weddings, the bride and the groom, it's a lot of pressure on the groom and a lot of pressure on the bride. And one thing goes wrong and the whole family makes a huge fit. And then
who melts down faster, the bride or the groom?
I think the bride.
No doubt. What do you do? Hotel?
I do hotels, yes.
What do you think?
Too much pressure.
Would you elope or would you have a wedding? What makes more sense? Does it make more sense to have a big wedding, spend a lot of money, or elope?
Just the bride and the groom, because too much money on that wedding, I don't know, I think it's a waste.
Going inside the courtroom.
There are people who love getting raw and edited stuff because they know what they can create with it. I think that part of the problem that we're having is that you have no clue what you can create with this raw and edited 2,000 photos. You have no idea what you can do, what a good editor can do. Well, in fact, what I could do. Give me a couple of hours and let me do it. You know, it's, you don't understand that, and that's why certain things are bothering you. You don't understand what's out there, what's capable of being edited. I opened up, scores and scores of these photos, and they are easily edited. The lighting outside was beautiful. You were beautiful. Everybody was happy. You have a complaint about something that every person who throws an enormous party, how many people were at this?
Only 80.
80. 80's more than your average party, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's unwieldy, it's emotional. It's everyone who throws a party has to sort of orchestrate it because they're not your relatives. They don't know who your relatives are. They don't know who's important to you. In fact, this case is going to cause me that we just had my daughter's quince 3-4 weeks ago. And I'm going to call the videographer and make sure he knows who's important to me and who's not, because I may end up with an edited video where he's featuring people who mean nothing to us. Well, I shouldn't say mean nothing. They mean something. But, they are not the featured people, so I got to sort of, monitor that a little more. You've got the raw, unedited stuff, and you have no idea. No, we're done. I want you to listen and not talk anymore. You have no idea what can be done with it. And what I've got to decide is, did you pay for something that you didn't get? And that's really what I have to decide. And in looking at the photos and in seeing what the editing could look like, I'm not sure that you paid for something that you couldn't get. And if you wanted everybody in a picture, it kind of behooves you to get everybody in the picture. I mean, and if you take a picture with 6 of your 7 sisters, what the hey? You don't realize that your 7 sisters missing? He's supposed, the photographer's supposed to realize it. And if the photographer doesn't realize that one of your sisters is missing, it's bad on the photographer. I think you're being unreasonable. And I find in favor of the defendants in this case.
Hold on right there, both sides.
All right, so come on. This is the lovely bride out here in the hallway. This is the first major setback of the marriage. How are you doing with this?
It's not a setback.
No, what
Still
is it?
a happy marriage.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, everything cool?
Everything's okay.
All right, you're going to edit it up and do the best you can with
They're
everything?
already editing.
All right. Good luck with everything. The next 30 years, 50 years, whatever.
Awesome.
Good luck.
Hopefully my hair grows.
Come on in. All right, so step on in next to me here. Finally, how'd it go this time in the court?
It actually went fantastic. I've been trying to, for months, emphasize that editing photography is very important, and after this situation happened...
Tough working with the new brides,
Right,
first time?
But it's a bride, and you have to make them happy and service them.
Exactly.
All right, Harvey?
The key to making a contract for a wedding is to be as specific as possible. Nail down every item that you really want. Down to the music. I mean, if you're hiring a DJ, mention the music list that you want. If you're hiring a caterer, definitely the kind of food you want, the quantity of food. The more specific, the better. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
Some things are impossible to miss, like an elephant in the room, or a bull in a china shop, or this season's amazing offers, brought to you by PayPal. Discover offers from hundreds of brands like Viator, Allbirds, and Tory Burch right in the PayPal app. Save an offer before you check out with PayPal and earn unlimited rewards. Download the PayPal app to get started. Terms and exclusions apply. See paypal.com/rewards terms.
Wishing you could be there live for the big game, soaking up the atmosphere of the crowd. But too often, life gets busy, or the price holds you back. Priceline is here to help you make it happen. With millions of deals on flights, hotels, and rental cars, you can go see the game live. Don't just dream about the trip, book it with Priceline. Download the Priceline app or visit Priceline.com. Actual prices may vary. Limited time offer.
This is the plaintiff, Tiffany Bowen. She says the defendant, her boyfriend's buddy, promised he'd fix her car for a fair price because her fuel pump was shot. When she went to pick it up, she discovered the defendant had been arrested. Her car had been towed, and now no one knows where it is, not even the cops. The whole thing's one big fat mess, and since her car's now missing, she's suing the defendant for $4,597.75 because he's the responsible party. This is the defendant, Malcolm Blunt. He says the plaintiff owed him money for fixing her car, didn't pay him in a timely manner, and had sat on his property for a month. Eventually, the car was deemed to be abandoned because she didn't pay him for the repairs or remove the car from his property. So he called a tow company, and they took the car away. Bottom line, it's ridiculous he's being sued today because if anyone's owed money, it's him. He's accused of making a car disappear.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Tiffany Bowen?
Yes.
You are suing Malcolm Blunt
Yes, ma'am.
for $4,597.75, the cost of your car and car parts and money that you paid him to repair your car, because according to you, he has now stolen your car. What's going on?
All right, Tuesday, October 30th, my car broke down. On Thursday, November 1st,
Where are you from?
Florida, Tampa, Florida.
Okay.
On November 1st, I called AAA to tow my car to Firestone because from what I understood from the defendant, he came to look at the car from...
How did you know the defendant?
He was my boyfriend's friend.
He was your boyfriend's friend?
And he's fixed my boyfriend's car before and my boyfriend's mother's motorcycle.
Okay.
So I know he knows what he's doing with cars.
Okay.
I told Michael, who was with me at the time, that, you know what, I can't afford to pay much more because I came to him because it was going to be cheaper.
Michael is your boyfriend?
Yes.
All right.
I told him that I couldn't afford to be paying that much more. He told me he talked to Malcolm and they would establish a price that's right. So the next day I was going to Delaware. I told him, will you have the car fixed by the time I come back? He said,
When
yeah.
were you coming back?
2 weeks.
2 weeks, all right.
I was in Delaware. So I come back, my boyfriend and I drove to Malcolm's to pick up the car and, well.
And what happened when you got there?
He told me I couldn't pick up the car. He told me that they had gone to an altercation on the 14th.
While you were in Delaware?
While I was in Delaware. I was not aware of this, but Malcolm had...
When you get there, just hold on. I'm going to ask him about the altercation because apparently your boyfriend's not here, right?
No.
Wow.
He has a witness statement. He was supposed to be here, but last minute...
Yeah, he was supposed to board a plane and be here next to you, right?
Right.
And then what happened?
Last minute, he couldn't find his ID.
He couldn't what?
He couldn't find his ID.
Couldn't find his ID?
Yeah.
Okay. I have a question for you. When you go back, after you come back from Delaware, you go there, the car's missing already, right?
No, I go there on the 16th. The car is there sitting in the driveway.
But they've had their altercation.
Yeah, they've already had this.
Okay, now hold on. We're going to talk about the altercation in a second. When do you go back and the car's missing?
The car is missing on the 25th.
Okay. What happened?
Well, from the beginning, she dropped the car off to me. Like she said, the car got dropped off.
I have a question. I'm sorry, I have to know. You have tattooed teardrops on both sides. What does that mean to you?
They symbolize not that I'm not a mass murderer, if that's what you're asking.
Well, that's what it used to mean.
No.
But you would never see somebody have it, you know, it meant
sides,
blood or crip, but you wouldn't see both
If I close my eyes,
sides.
you'll see what I have on my eyes, love and pain.
What do you have on your eyes? You flatter my vision. Love
and pain. Love and pain.
Pain?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what's this about?
It's just lost things that are lost to me. I had a very close friend lost to me. That's why it's open. Same on these sides. I had a lot of people lost to me. You know what I'm saying? It's that simple, and that's what it is, you know.
Okay. Are you in a gang?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right, so go on.
I know Tiffany Bowen through my friend, obviously Mike. We established Mike. Her car broke down in the middle of a parking lot at a apartment complex, you know.
They bring it to you to fix, and the
Pretty
deal
much.
is that you're going to fix it for how much?
$400 because I knew in my head looking at the car that there was just something strange. It started with an electrical problem.
But then Mike and you have a problem.
Yeah, Mike and me have a problem.
Tell me about the problem that Mike and you have.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you, Judge. Me and Mike, I'm 22 years old. You know what I'm saying? I'm 22 years old. Mike is 18. We get in trouble for a beer run. We do stupid things. We get in trouble for a beer run. I know you.
For a beer run?
Yes, ma'am.
What does that mean?
That means we went inside a convenience store, grabbed beer, and ran out the door. Simple.
That's one way to get
beer. You know what I'm saying? But that's one way to get beer.
New meaning of beer run.
And what happened? Yeah, exactly. My beer run means somebody else goes to the grocery store and pays for the beer and brings it to me.
Yep. That's
okay.
What you call it.
But now tell me what happened with the police as a result.
Oh yeah, that's the interesting part. Well, you know what I'm saying? I'm very identifiable, obviously.
Oh, you think?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. I do. What happened was cops came to Mike's house and they pulled him out of bed 3 o'clock in the morning.
Over a beer?
Over beer.
Oh, there had to be more than the beer.
It was. You can. It's.
It was over a beer?
It was over
more
beer.
than a beer.
What was it?
I have his police record right here. A witness said a witness pursued him, and Malcolm went in his shirt and said, "I had a gun." So, and it's all here highlighted.
Let me see.
Go for it.
So go on.
Also mentions he's in a gang.
They pulled him out of. They pulled him out of the house 3 o'clock in the morning. Asked him 1,000,001 questions about me, like I was some mass murderer, blase blase, of course, profiling for the tattoos and whatnot. So he says, I don't know who this character is, but I think I know his name is Malcolm.
Who says that?
Mike. He says.
Your good friend Mike?
Yeah, my good friend Mike gave my name up. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of whatever, he gave my name up. So, and that's how that went. And then when I went to court for it, they dropped charges and everything. So did she provide you with the paperwork on that?
Okay, the witness began running after the suspect with the bottle of liquor, which would only be you. The suspect began running backwards, facing the witness, placed his hand in his waistband and yelled at the witness, "I have a gun." The witness stopped chasing him. Suspect turned around to run and tripped over the cement median, dropping the bottle of liquor.
Yes, ma'am.
The suspect then ran to a waiting vehicle. Who was in the waiting vehicle? Mike?
Mike.
Okay. The complainant was able to provide the tag on the silver Volvo. Okay. I ran the vehicle tag and received an address. That's how they found Mike. So he snitches on you, and what happens?
He snitches on me, and 2 days later, or about a day later, I pretty much get ramsacked by cops. And they pulled me in a room. They asked me about 1,000,000 questions about what's going on. And then for the record, when I was stealing that bottle, I'm a grown man. You can ask. I stopped right there in the middle of the parking lot. I was like, what the hell am I doing? And I was like, excuse me. And I'm saying, and I just stopped and just gave him the bottle back. I was like, man, this is just retarded. You know what I'm saying?
Don't say it's retarded. Yes. You're really insulting retarded people because they would never behave like this.
Excuse me. That's
okay,
what I was trying to do. It was really stupid of me. It was a stupid move that I made, and I caught myself in the parking lot doing. I'm like, $16, pocket full of. What am I? I was like, you know what I'm saying? 2 days later, I get arrested.
My friend, tell me about the car because I'm growing weary of you.
So, even if the person doesn't come to pick the car up, does the defendant have a duty to at least pick up the phone if he has the phone number and say, hey, pick up your car or else?
Yeah, definitely has a duty to call and make sure that the car goes back to the original owner.
But if the person doesn't pick it up, tough luck, but do you have a duty to make the phone call?
Yeah, you have a moral obligation.
What about a legal obligation? What about a legal obligation?
Yeah, legally too. It's in their hands.
It's in their hands, and they have the phone number, and it just seems like the right thing to do.
Totally.
Got your point? Going inside the courtroom.
The car-wise, it was just simple. They didn't pay me the money for the car. I told them the car was sitting there for 30 days on my property, on my house, residential. It was sitting there for 30 days. I have called everybody. I had to call Michael's mom. I called Michael. I called her. Nobody wanted to pick up the phone. Nobody wanted to do nothing. At that point, I don't care if you don't like me or not. The car's sitting here. I'm unpaid. She was gone. She left the custody of
What'd you do with the car?
I called a tow truck, and I had it removed off my property.
Now show me proof of that.
I will give you the number and the place.
No,
right
you'll
there.
give me the tow receipt.
They won't give it to me. They gave me one.
They gave it to you the day the tow truck
company. They did, and I misplaced it. And for the last 3 days, I've been calling the same tow truck place, trying to get them to send me the receipt. They don't want to do it. So if you want to call them, you can.
No, I don't want to call them.
You don't,
I want you to bring your proof as court because the accusation is that you took it out of revenge to Mike because Mike snitched on you, and that you then magically, hey, your car's not here. You go there and the car's there, and then you go there again and the car's not there.
I went there again with the police because I told the officer that he wouldn't give me my car. Police went to his house. He went and answered the door, but he saw that the car was in the driveway. On the 25th, when I came back by myself.
Right, but why didn't you just take the car then? It's a title.
He had the keys.
You didn't have keys? You didn't have a spare set of keys to the car?
I bought it from a used car, so I only had one set of keys.
And you didn't go make another set? Oh, okay. I have a question for you. Did you ever get a phone call from a tow company saying we have your car?
No.
Which is also something that would happen if you towed the car.
Can I also say, Your Honor?
What's the tow truck company you called?
Gio's tow truck.
What day did you call them?
The 29th, they picked
Had
it
the
up.
police not just been at your house with her?
They came twice that I know. The first time I was not there, I was out handling
So
business.
if you know that she's trying to pick up the car, why are you calling a tow truck company to take the car away? Because you haven't been paid?
Well, I called, I text, I said I need money for the car. You know what I'm saying? The work of the car has been done for a while. The car needs to get removed. Nobody wants to answer my text messages. The mother, I have her number because I do work with her.
Do you have text messages to show me that people aren't answering?
Yeah,
show
I
me your
can-
text messages
well-
where you're reaching out to them and they're not answering.
Well, that was about a month ago. You know what I'm saying? You want to pull Sprint, I have no
No,
problem
I don't
with it.
want to do your work.
Well,
for you.
I'll do
I
it.
have a lot of
Yeah.
work.
Well,
You've got a
after
lot of
that-
free time. I don't. I want you to do your work before you come to court. That's what I want. So you can't keep telling me, call this and get the evidence, and call
me
Sprint
personally-
and get the evidence, call Verizon and get the evidence while you sit back and relax. It's your job.
Yes, ma'am,
because
you're right.
otherwise, here's where we are. We have a woman who has a car there. You have a problem with the woman's boyfriend, and magically the car's missing. And when I ask you, show me why, tell me why, and show me that the car was towed, your answer cannot possibly be the only thing that gives you a right to tow the car, which is it's abandoned. It can't be that because you know that she was just there with the police knocking on the door and you're not answering. So you don't have a right to get it towed already. You don't have a right to get it towed because you don't legitimately think it's abandoned. It wasn't there for 30 days, which is what you need to in order to deem it abandoned. You didn't lose contact with them and desperately try to reach them for 30 days. You had a dispute with them, and in order to get them back, that's the best case scenario, you got the car towed. The worst case scenario is when you come in here with no proof of tow, is that you didn't get the car towed. And what you did was take it to a chop shop or somewhere else and get rid of it or sell it or whatever else you did with it in order to get back at Mike, because not only did Mike snitch on you, but then he didn't bail you out. That's where we are. And then you are an idiot, because if you had taken it to Firestone and you had gotten it fixed, you'd have a fixed car. But no, you got to have this guy do it on his property to save. So how much did you save? Tell me again.
I mean,
not a whole lot, right? Because you're out of car?
Yeah.
Right. Lo barato sale caro. The cheap comes out expensive. Okay. Where's the car?
The car is at tow truck place.
No, where's the
Gio's
car?
tow truck. Gio's
Where's
tow
the
truck.
car? Show me where the car is. You can't.
I can.
Okay?
I can.
You can't, and
I
this
can't
is the
for her.
day to show me.
I know.
So I'm finding in favor of the plaintiff and the plaintiff's claim only for the car, not the other things you're suing for $3,305.23.
All right, both sides, just hold on right there, please.
So the defendant's coming out into the hallway here to give us some reaction to the outcome of this case here, which goes against you in favor of the plaintiff.
It's the lane. Gotta respect the judge, you know. It's. I didn't steal the car, you know what I'm saying? The car went to the tow truck. I just didn't have proof. My evidence went significant. So, no harm
Well,
done.
it would have been good if you had proof that the tow was made and that the car is at the tow yard.
I can't show her my cell phone. Cell phones don't work. You know what I'm saying? So.
And that dispute with Mike, what about that?
The dispute with Mike, it's what it is. It is exactly what it is. Don't talk to me.
You regret any of your actions and
Yeah, I do.
the way this went down?
Yeah, I do. It wasn't none of her fault. It just sucks that she had to be in the middle of it. But you owed me money. I didn't get paid none. I just don't do no more favors no more.
All right.
All right.
Right this way. Thank you. All right, so step on in here. You have a smile on your face coming out, I think. Step on a little closer here. What's going through your mind here as a result of this case?
I'm really happy with the judge and her judgment.
Yeah. Mike and the dispute with this gentleman, saving a couple of dollars, how smart was that?
He's worked on things before, and I thought he had good reference, and it would save me money if he just did everything. Then he had to be stupid and rob a liquor store.
You get what you pay for? You know what that's about? Did you get what you paid for here?
I lost my car.
Yeah, you
I
tried to
should've-
save some money, and
Yeah.
you got what you paid for.
Right.
Harvey?
You know, abandonment laws vary from not only state to state, but in some cases city to city. So if you're ever in this kind of situation and you need to know what your rights are, you can actually check online by typing in your city or state and then typing the word abandonment law rules, and you should be able to find out. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
Blowing ad budget on metrics that look great till the CFO sees them, that's bull spend. And marketers are calling it out in Dashboard Confessions.
I remember telling my boss, it'll be good for the brand, when leads were slow. Yeah, it wasn't.
Cut the bull spend. LinkedIn lets you target by company, job title, and more. Advertise on LinkedIn. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a $250 credit. Go to linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
This is the plaintiff, Shantice Wilkinson. She says she rented an apartment from the defendant, never moved a stick of furniture in the place, and is now having a heck of a time getting her security and first month's rent back. The woman is claiming she damaged the place and is saying she has a legal right to keep her money, but she feels differently and thinks the judge will agree. She's suing for $850, the amount she's owed. This is the defendant, Diana Coulter. She says the woman gave her money for the apartment, then the very next day told her she had changed her mind and didn't want the place after all. She was already spackling and painting the place for crying out loud. She felt sick to her stomach about the whole thing, but knows she has a right to keep the plaintiff's money while she tries to re-rent the place. She's accused of landlording to the letter of the law.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Shantice Wilkinson?
Yes.
You are suing Diana Coulter, your almost landlord, for $850 that you paid for an apartment that you ended up not taking. Tell me what happened.
My grandparents, they're selling their house, so I'm in college, I'm in my last year, and I wanted to get a head start on looking for places to live. So I went onto Craigslist, and I found her ad, Diana's ad here, for $500 a month for a room and share house.
Mm-hmm.
She also said that if I take the room, depending on which week in the month I take the room, the ad went up on the 2nd, I saw it on the 3rd, that I would only pay $350, and depending on which week, she would knock down $100 from the $5, so that I can, move in and pay a fair amount. I went, I saw the place with my friend Richie here. I liked it, we liked it, so I went to the bank.
Was Richie gonna live there too?
No, he was just there, for moral support. I went to the bank, got the money, and we came back. When we went to see the place, there were 2 rooms available. She told me about the second room. It was a lot smaller, but she let me know, if you move into the second room, I only charge you an extra $100. So that would be $600 for the month and $350 for security.
2 bedrooms?
Yeah, it was. It's very small. It was
is this a house?
It's a 3-bedroom house. I was renting 2 of the bedrooms for $500 each.
Okay, time's tough?
Very tough, yes.
So if you were renting them for $500 each, why were you going to let her have one for $100?
Because she told me she was a student and she needed a place to study. I thought, out of the kindness of my heart,
person, so.
Out of the kindness of my heart, I said, you know what?
Kindness of your heart?
Yeah.
I thought you were falling on tough times and needed help.
I was, but I wasn't trying to get rich. I was just trying to pay my bills. And she needed a place to study.
In any event, you agree, and what happened?
You
actually signed something?
Yes, I have it here.
Oh, let's see what you signed.
I paid her, originally it was going to be $600.
I received $850 from Shantice. This is your handwriting, right? Shantice Wilkinson on this day, and she will be renting on a month-to-month basis at the cost of $630. Everything included to be paid by the 3rd of every month. And both of you sign it, correct?
Yes.
All right, and then what happens?
So she changes her mind the day after, she says, and she says, look, no harm, no foul. Does she have a case here?
I think she should have thought about it before she did it.
So tough luck for her.
Tough luck.
What do you think?
Tough luck. You should have thought before you gave out that money.
Okay, and you haven't spoken.
Well, maybe she should have changed her mind or maybe before she signed the contract.
Well, then, that's right. And then she wouldn't have a contract.
Exactly.
Oh. Steel trap going inside the courtroom.
We left. She told me that she had to run out to work. So me and Richie left. We get back to my house, my mom's house, and my transmission starts, we're in drive and it's going in reverse, my car. So we're like, okay, maybe something's wrong with the car. So we keep starting the car and it's in neutral and we're in drive. So we bring it to my mechanic. My mechanic's like, your transmission's gone. He was like, it's gone. If you repair it, it'll be like $900 to $1,000. He was like, you're probably better off just getting another car. So that very next morning, between 7 and 8, I called her and we spoke about I actually have the phone records here, us speaking that morning. And I told her, look, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to be able to move in. You know, my car gets me back and forth.
And so you want all your money back?
Yeah, I called her.
You want there to be zero consequence to signing that contract?
I did not move a thing in to
I know,
to
so
her
there's zero
apartment.
consequence for you to signing the contract.
Yes.
And your position is?
My position is when she called me, well, first of all, she was adamant. She liked the place, she was taking the place. She actually left her best friend, Richie, with me while she went to the bank with her sister, I believe. He sat there an hour and waited to make sure I didn't rent the place. That's how much they wanted. She was very
It doesn't
happy.
matter. Were you showing it to other people?
I was showing it to other people at that point, but I took it off Craigslist after we signed the contract. I gave her the key. She said she would be moving stuff in. I said, that's fine, you live here now. You paid your rent, here's your key, we are now roommates. I went to work the next morning, she gave me a call and told me that, by the way, I won't be moving in. I'm like,
okay. But so,
what
did you say to her at that point?
I said, there's nothing what do you mean? I was
okay, but she
flabbergasted.
paid you 1 month's rent and 1 month's security deposit.
Half a month's security deposit.
Okay, half a month's
Right.
security. So on what basis are you keeping the security deposit?
We have a contract.
No. Okay.
Oh, no, the security, no. I offered to pay, I said, well, what happened was I paid the rent. So I said, I will give you $250 back now. I had that on me. And I'll give you the rest next
That's
week.
a lie.
She
Hold
was
on.
adamant. She was adamant that she wanted everything in full. She did not want to be paid back in bits and pieces. And I said, that's the best I can do. I can't give you what I don't have. That's when she put somebody else on the phone. I believe it was her aunt, who's a paralegal. And they started threatening me. At that point, I said, you know what? She mentioned that she had the key. She put somebody else on the phone. She was not willing to work it out. I wanted to work it out. She became adamant. She actually sent me an email also saying that she wanted it all in full, and if anything else
Let me see the
payment
email.
in full was unacceptable. And that's when I said, you know what? We have a contract, and now we're just going to stick to the contract.
Let me see the email.
I have the email.
Once she wasn't willing to work with me, that's when I said, you know what? Forget it. We have a contract. Let's stick to the contract.
Okay, let me explain something to you folks. Let me explain to you how it works, okay? First of all, when you sign a contract, there are consequences, even if your car breaks down. You don't get to change your mind. And it doesn't matter if you haven't moved your first sneaker there. It just doesn't matter. You signed a contract that was, you know, she's taking the apart. Otherwise, she stops showing the thing to people. She takes it off of Craigslist. She can't rent it out. And then you just get to change your mind, and it costs her rent for that month because after that time, it's rented. All right, so there is a consequence to signing that contract. That's the consequence, a month. However, the idea behind a security deposit is to protect you against damages. This is a month-to-month contract. She told you right away that she was not taking it, so she didn't even move in. So what premise do you have to keep the security deposit? I'm ruling in favor of the plaintiff in this case, the amount of the security deposit, which is $350. As to the rest of it, that does belong to her. That's my verdict. Good luck, folks.
So here's the deal. When the tenant breaches the contract, the only right the landlord has is to be made whole. The fact is, she only signed a 1-month lease, so we can only keep 1 month's worth of rent, which is why you get your security back. If she's already paid the 1 month rent in advance, the security needs to go back because the fact is, that means the landlord is made whole.
Stitch Fix. Stop shopping, get styled.
A+ on the outfit, Miss Turner. You are about to slay parent-teacher conferences.
Oh, these? Just the most perfect fitting jeans my stylist sent me.
Oh, hello, you, who didn't set one foot in a mall and still looks amazing.
Just share your size, style, and budget, and your stylist sends personalized looks right to your door. Stitch Fix. Get started today at stitchfix.com.
To my stylist.
This look is dedicated to you. Thank you. Thank you.